Welcome to the Global Glug, un podcast internacional sobre spirits dove condividiamo historias y tradizioni made in English con un toque de español, italiano y un accenno de français. Chin chin! Hi, hello everybody, welcome back to the Global Glug. My name is Renato Molo and today we are virtually in Rome. We are in Europe and I'm with Filippo Maria Olivi di Briana. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And
correct.
hello, Filippo. Filippo, thank you very much for your time. So you are the creator, the person, the man behind El Supremo Rum. You will tell me later why rum and not rum. And first of all, thank you very much for your time. And maybe just a couple of words about you. So I heard you told me last weekend you have been in Germany for a fair. How was it? How do you feel? How was your experience? I mean, I think it's always complicated, difficult. It's long days. You need to show your product. So how was your feelings about it?
Well, Renato, first of all, thank you very much for having me on your podcast. It's fantastic, be able to connect with all rum lovers out there. So, as Renato mentioned, I am the founder of El Supremo Rum, a rum that comes from Paraguay. We will talk about this later on.
Yes.
But regarding your question, yes, we just got back with my team from London first, where we launched the El Supremo in the UK market. Excellent, a huge party, 280 people that came to a party at Tel Aviv restaurant on top of a building that with a view of London. It was very well attended. Ian Burrell, the world brand ambassador, was our MC, so we really connected with so many people. It was fantastic. Then after that, we went to Düsseldorf, Provine. Listen, Provine is not what it used to be. It used to be an amazing show. You had to go to Provine in order to sell your product, to be there, to be shown. But this Provine is 50%. Imagine that 50% was open only.
Okay.
So that means that out of 12, how do you say in Capannone? 12. Warehouses.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
they only had 6 this year.
Okay.
We were at the spirit section. There were some interesting. There's always very interesting customers. We met some interesting people, but disappointing. I heard a lot of people. I've chosen to go to Paris instead. The wine Paris, which has taken over in Europe as one of the biggest fairs for spirits, wines and spirits, especially the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was, but it's difficult. You have to be there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Behind the counter. You're drinking rum and introducing your product.
It's not easy.
It's tough.
It's a tough.
Back to Rome,
work.
and I was exhausted. But you have to do that, huh? If you have a brand, you have to publicize.
Yeah, I lost you for a second now, but I just wanted to ask you, why do you think that? Because I work for a company and we are in the Horeca, so we are selling products to hotel and restaurants. And we also experience, when I compare it 10 years ago, now the fairs some of them are really low. So there is not that many people attending. Do you know maybe why that? Do you have any explanation for it? Or is it just the behavior of the people? They look online. I don't know. They find another way to get information.
There's a new trend. Drinking trends are changing. You need to adapt quickly to the non-alcoholic, the density that prefer to have probably the famous non-alcoholic fashion nowadays. You have a crisis. Europe, unfortunate to say, but it's in deep crisis, soul searching economically, but also other things, other problems, social problems are terrible in Europe. So I think that all this combined with the fact that the fair is held in March, which is always a miserable weather with gray sky and rain. I think that's also a factor. I think people are probably looking for better quality. So that's why our stand was quite busy. They were looking for new product, but better quality. People are going back to the to products that can that have the terroir, that have history, single origin, and that's what they're looking for, and good product basically.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of spirits out there. COVID. After COVID, there was this. I know it's already 10 years ago. It sounds like yesterday, but there's been, there was a boom in explosion in alcohol. I mean, everybody was an alcoholic during the lockdowns. I mean,
yeah.
You had sudden business. Suddenly, everybody was a distributor. Everybody was online. Everybody was doing this, and there's been a readjustment of all these big distribution. But you mentioned a point about online. Yes, I think online is also is becoming very, very important. I'm not from that generation. I'm that old, but the new generations they order everything online.
Yeah,
you pick up your computer, you're on your phone, you say, okay, 2 bottles. They do. So yeah. But nothing. But I still believe that you need to showcase your product. There's nothing that a handshake, a smile, a tasting, storytelling, and being able to share experience together rather than just buying a bottle online.
Yeah, of course.
So let's see.
It's so important. It's so important now because the market is so saturated. So if you don't have something special to show and also to taste, because it's important to taste the product before you buy it. Maybe I was checking your prices online. I mean, it's still, if I'm not wrong, between 50 and 60 euros a bottle. So I mean,
that's for the 12-year-old, Renato, because we have the 5-year-old, which is about 30 euro, 35 euro.
Yeah.
The 8-year-old is 40. The 12-year-old is 50, and we have an 18-year-old, which is 200 euros. So we are very competitive.
Okay.
Our prices are not that. We are not expensive for a brand.
Maybe I checked the website in Switzerland. I was seeing you have
okay. So
but of course Switzerland is Switzerland. So I mean, anyway, it was between 50 and 60
Switzerland. No.
It's okay. It's a nice price. It's not crazy.
It's incredible. They do their own price. Switzerland has its own way of distributing. It's a bizarre country as far as price is concerned for our product.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do. My distributor said, no, it's Swiss francs. That's the way it is. Okay, fine.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can talk later about how
later on,
distributed. The differences between Switzerland and Europe would be interesting also maybe for our audience to hear.
Of course.
But first of all, now I want to ask you about you. Why your background? Have you always been in the world of rum? How did you end up? I don't know, maybe you were traveling to Paraguay and you discovered this distillery. I don't know. Can you maybe tell us more about you before getting into rum?
It's a total discovery. So first of all, I come from a background of trading physical commodities, meaning agricultural commodities. My father lived in Paraguay for 30, 40 years. So I used to go back and forth to South America. And I was trading agricultural products to Asia, Vietnam, China, Japan, physical commodities, meaning it's not the trading on the stock exchange. And I've always been drinking rum. I mean, I remember when it was not even fashionable, where people were drinking vodka at the time, or whiskey. I always wanted a glass of rum. But those days, the rum was only Bacardi or maybe other big brands. There was no such thing as premium rums or boutique rums. And since I was in age of drinking, my favorite drinks have always been rum, and I've been, had many bottles. And the rum in Paraguay. People asking me, it's something quite unique. I literally discovered the rum during one of my trips to Paraguay. Went down there to my father. We had a farm in the countryside, so I went there. And it was, 10, 15 years ago. And I remember someone said, Filippo, ¿quieres un poquito de caña? Do you want to drink a glass of caña? I said, what the hell? Sorry, no swear words on the podcast. What do you want to drink a little bit of? What is the caña? And I said, and he gave me this glass of rum. Basically, it was anejado. Yeah.
It was already distilled.
It's caña. It's caña paraguaya, not the guarapo. No, it was caña. It was already distilled, not the guarapo.
Okay.
Yep.
Just for the audience, guarapo is the fresh pressed juice of the sugarcane. which is without alcohol. It's fresh, it's tasty,
Correct.
and it's rich of energy. But
Yes.
caña, as you say, caña is the cane.
Caña
But
is
in this
cane, so
case,
yeah,
I guess in Paraguay, caña
correct.
they mean
Bravissimo.
distillate.
Exact. So I was expecting a glass of sugarcane juice with some ice cubes, and I say, and instead they give me la caña. When they say caña in Paraguay, it's rum. They call
Okay.
it caña. The farmers up in the countryside. And I put it in my mouth. I drank, and I literally, I don't know. When you were a kid, we used to read Topolino, Archimede, Patagorica. Each was every time he had an idea in the cartoon, there was a question mark or an exclamation mark on his top of his head saying, "Oh wow, an idea." Well, it's exactly what it felt. I said, "This is something that is absolutely incredible," and I think I need to do something about it, because up to when I started, Caña Paraguay was not exported anywhere in the world except maybe to Argentina, maybe a few bottles to some connoisseur that came to Paraguay to visit and brought back to their house a bottle or two. But it was not. It was usually consumed in the local market.
Okay, so this was it was just. Are there many distillers? How does it work in when you discovered? How was the business in Paraguay?
Okay.
So is there a lot of
First of all,
producers or
no.
and what
Okay.
drink people in Paraguay? By the way, I've never been to Paraguay, so I'm just a bit intrigued about the drinking culture there.
The drinking culture is mostly whiskey remains always the biggest, but caña, the rum, is the national drink of Paraguay.
Okay.
In a country of 5 million people, there's about 6 to 7 million bottles sold every year. So you can see how much they drink, even more, 8 million bottles.
Local rum made in
local
okay.
Local rum for the locals. They drink rum all day long. So and it's a very big culture of rum drinking over there. They don't call it ron; they call it caña. Again, it's very strange. Ron de Paraguay. Now they call it Ron de Paraguay because the country is becoming a little bit more modern. But there's something to tell the audience about Paraguay. Many people don't know Paraguay. They don't even know the history of Paraguay. And why is it that you haven't heard about Paraguay for so long? Okay, it has to be said that Paraguay always had a very tragic history. It's a country that has gone through many wars. It used to be a huge empire. It's reduced to a small country, small, as big as France. With only 5 million people. It's tucked in the middle of South America, between Brazil, between Argentina and Bolivia, so it has no access to the sea. And it has been under a dictatorship until 1992. And the last dictator of South America, Alfredo Stroessner, was kicked out in 1992. And it's only from the end of the 90s that Paraguay really started to slowly go out and try to market their product. Because being a small country surrounded by Brazil, which has 300 million people, and you are only 5 million people, you can imagine that the market is your colossal neighbor and not the rest of the world. And so is Argentina with 50 million people, and Bolivia also, which is quite big. So that's why not many people know about Paraguayan products, and that's why probably the caña has remained best kept secret when I discovered it, basically, and started to export it around the world.
Okay, interesting.
That's the story of how I discovered, and then we started to the journey.
So how was the process? So you discovered the product. So you started. You said the caña was already aged. Is it correct?
Okay, so we have to explain maybe to the audience why is la caña Paraguay, the rum, Paraguayan rum, so incredible. First of all, you don't associate Paraguay with rum. That's the first thing. Okay, so that's already when you say my rum comes from Paraguay, you already have attention. People say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, where is Paraguay first of all?
First of all, with Paraguay, but why is Paraguay making rum? We didn't know that Paraguay is making rum. And listen, the story is fascinating. And I'm going to tell you the story. When the conquistador came to Paraguay, to Spain, to South America from Spain, they didn't stop in Buenos Aires. The galleons didn't stop on the seaside. They went up the river, Rio Paraguay, and they stopped in an area, and they founded Asunción, which became the capital of the empire. in 1537. Asunción. I hope I'm right on the date. I might have maybe 35 or 37. In any way, it was on the 16th century. They founded Asunción, which became the capital of the huge empire. It was going half of Brazil all the way down to Tierra del Fuego. You can imagine that was the empire of the southern part of South America. And behind the conquistador came the Jesuits, of course. And the Jesuits came to Paraguay to build the missions, fantastic cathedrals in the middle of the forest. And our good priests, when they were tired and finished working, they wanted to drink something. And so what they did is that they brought the sugarcane from Spain to Paraguay, planted in the fertile land, and the tradition is that the sugarcane industry then grew up, of course, but the sugarcane industry has always been for the making of rum and not for making sugar. This is what's incredible about Paraguay. Anyway, plant the sugarcane, and they start inventing a method that is up to today still the same method that we use to make rum in Paraguay. And that is very quickly explained. So you take the sugarcane juice. The sugarcane juice is then boiled for 9 hours on open pit fire. So it has to be on open pit fires in big vats. And they boil it for 9 hours exactly to extract the water and create what we call la miel de caña. So it's the honey cane juice that is then fermented with natural yeast for 3 days only, so to maintain. And it's very important to understand that when you make miel de caña, you maintain the characteristic, very floral characteristic of the rum. Maybe your audience knows that 90%, probably everybody knows that 90% of the rums are made of molasses, which is a byproduct of the sugar industry.
Exactly.
Caribbean, mostly Central America, and maybe even Venezuela and Colombia. But only in Paraguay, they have this method, which is called miel de caña. After fermentation, 3 days, so it's a short fermentation. It is in steel column, copper, steel column, distilled and aged into a local timber called Incienso Marron, which is found in Paraguay. And usually the first aging is done in what we call pipones. The pipones are 10,000 liters. So the huge vat, because the wood itself is very fragrant, a little bit oily and very strong. So that you cannot put the rum into small casks. It has to be big so that it doesn't touch too much. But
because it's a strong flavors, you think?
Or... Very strong flavor, absolutely. It's a very strong flavored timber. And after that, it is then aged and finished, in oak barrels, Limousin oak barrels, statically. So there is no Solera system in the Paraguayan rum. So the rum is done statically like we which gives you that unique character. Only 2% of the rums in the world are made this way. There are some in Colombia that is like this, and probably one small distillery in Venezuela, but mostly in Colombia and Paraguay that make the rum this way. Only 2%. That's what's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because normally when we talk about Spanish-style rums, normally we always associate them with Solera method, which is used a lot in South America.
South America used the Spanish Solera system, indeed, contrary to the English system. So you have basically three systems: the British system, the English, the French, the Rhum Agricole from the French, and then you have the Spanish, which is also some of the molasses, but they use the Solera system rather than the aging or fermentation that is longer. For example, the British, they ferment for quite a long time.
Exactly. Yes, it's longer this fermentation, and also they use normally pot stills. Normally, I mean, it's not a rule, but it's like a tradition. So you said Incienso Marron, it's where you age it for how long? A couple of months in the big vats?
No. The big vat you age it for almost half of the time. So when we say 5-year-old rum, we have more or less 2 years into the Incienso and the rest in the oak. When we say 8-year-old, statically again, we usually use maybe 3 and 5, etc. So it's a little bit more than a couple of years. Yeah, it's not a few months; it's a couple of years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the limousine oak, it's also on site, or is it taken to another country? The rum.
No. The rum is on site in the cave.
Okay.
Yeah, 100% aged in the cave of our distillery, and then we leave it there and statically aged. And then after that, what we do is that we take the rum to France. So in order to maintain the quality of our product, to ensure that it is kept to its highest quality, we bottle in France in the Armagnac region.
Okay.
So we take everything from the distillery and we bring it by container to France for
interesting.
For bottling. Yeah.
Which is maybe more efficient because also I guess your biggest market is Europe.
Our biggest, it's a decision. As you know, people will say, "Oh, how come your company is in Singapore?" So I lived in Asia for many years.
Okay.
That's where I started the business out of Singapore, and I used to travel all the time from South America to Asia. And so our headquarters is in Singapore. We have a company in France and a company in Paraguay. And the rum is sent to France for bottling. We can control the quality. It's much better, the machine and everything. And the decision was to develop the French market, the European market first. Sorry, that was my point. We decided that Europe has to start. That's where you want to start to launch a product, is in Europe. After that, you can move to the United States, and after that, you can move to Asia. It's a bit of the way. You have to be famous in Europe. Or make it in Europe.
So maybe this is also the way that helps you to get easier on the market once you bottle it in Europe. Maybe you were just talking about the difference between Europe and Switzerland. Maybe can you just tell us, say, imagine someone would like to start something like you are doing. What could you maybe tell to this person? What is the difficulties in Europe? What is in Europe compared maybe to Switzerland, or other countries which are in Europe physically but not in the European Union?
Yeah. So the what I would say to people in who wants to start with a rum is that Europe is the most important market. You have a few countries like France, Spain, and of course the UK, which are the key markets. They drink a lot of rum. And they know about the rum. So the second thing, you must have a product that is different. You have to have that difference because there are, as you know, many rums in the market right now. Many boutique rums are coming. Many people are going to Holland and they mix rum from Panama, from Guatemala, or from other countries, and they say, "Oh, this is you have to find that uniqueness that makes your product interesting." The story is very important, storytelling. And a good product. Genuinely, you have to have a good product that is not too much sugar inside. People, the things are changing. Our rum is also very dry, so it's a rum that we don't have. We are natural products, so that's another thing that gives us success. Is that the product is totally genuine. There's no additives. There's no sugar added. There's no caramel. Whatever comes out of the barrel. It's what we put into the bottle. So you have a truly incredible good rum. I don't know if you had a chance to taste the rum, Renato.
I wanted to. I checked it.
This is
the 8, yes.
Supremo, no. Yeah, the 8. You can see. Then I can tell you also the label where something that we worked a lot about. This is the 12-year-old. People have seen it probably. It's quite a very good oak. We have a 5-year-old and an 18-year-old, which is spectacular.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm digressing there. You asked me a question. So Europe,
worries.
go and try to. It does require a lot of effort, and you need a lot of patience. There have been a lot of setbacks. You have to fight, and it's not an easy journey. Let's put it that way, because there's a lot of people out there, and there's also a lot of big company with deep pockets. And these companies are almost impossible to compete with. Yeah, we cannot. Distribution is key. You must have a good distributor. And it's not about volume. it's about building your brand. You need to build the brand with your distributor. That's what makes the brand. If you build the brand, it takes time. You cannot make 1 million bottles in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You need to build the brand slowly, work with your distributor, make a lot of activations, understand exactly what will be where are the activations going to be, who you're going to be, Oreca, are you going to be on trade, off trade, where exactly is your plan. Have a very clear plan and stick to it, and work with the distributor to make sure that it's building the brand.
Yeah, distribution is key. I think it's
Key.
always
Distribution is key in this business.
always,
you have to find a very good distributor. Yeah.
And I think also the distributors wouldn't really they don't accept everyone, because I think every day they get emails of people asking, please, can you distribute my product? It's the best in the world. How could you get your best distributor? How was the approach? Did you approach them, or did they approach you?
Approached. I know. I did the tactic of military anarchist, the terrorist tactic. I don't know. We went and knock on the doors with the bottles in the bag.
Yeah.
Hello, hi, my name is Filippo. And when they close. And when they try to close the door, you put your feet in the door and say, no, sorry, no, wait, let me tell you an incredible story. And then you start telling the story. You attract them, you call them, you go to salon, you call people. Yeah, you have to endlessly.
Yeah.
And some distributors, of course, will say, no, I'm not interested. I have too many brands, a lot of distributors. But, there are smaller distributors. You don't have to necessarily go to the big ones. There are distributors interested, and not necessarily in the key markets that you want. You might want to try maybe to distribute in other countries where maybe there's no, you can go to maybe Eastern Europe. You can go to countries that are a bit smaller around Europe. You can start there. But it's a constant battle.
And how was the process in Switzerland? So I saw you have some.
So in Switzerland, yeah.
Do you have a big distributor, or do you have
No,
smaller shops?
I have a distributor that loved my rum. That's very important. He tasted my rum and he said, I love it. He's based in Lausanne.
Okay.
Trésor du Thé, Thierry Clou. Very, very nice guy. He is not big, and he's working mostly the francophone part of Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the website.
So now during COVID, what happened is that unfortunately I was stuck in Singapore, and we had how shall I say, some distributors that I had started to sell the boxes to many other companies. So we found out that, for example, in Switzerland, there is a online distributor that sells our rum, which is not our distributor in Switzerland.
Oh.
You've seen it online. When you go online, you might find it in this. I don't think they have bottles left. So what happened is that we had to buy back all the bottles from these people.
Okay.
Because they were not. You don't want your brand to start being sold into the discount shops. It's a killer. Yeah, because then the distributor says, excuse me, you're giving me this price, and then I see that these guys are trying to discount it because they probably bought out of a stock during COVID. There was a lot of these things happening. So that was another problem we had to face after COVID. It was to clean up a little bit what was left. There were a couple of cases left, right, and center. But in Switzerland, you can call, he's doing his work. That's what I'm saying. He's building the brand slowly.
Yeah. I saw on his website, he has interesting rums. And, it's different than the normal rums you would find on the typical liquor store. You can, it's something that, again, it's a small niche he's working with. In this case, I'm in Switzerland, and someone who is looking for something special, he would go there. So he's in Lausanne, isn't
Switzerland? Yeah, but Switzerland. The thing about Switzerland is that most of the rum is Swiss German, the Swiss French. There are our rum. Okay, the fact that our rum is very natural and dry, it's also something that we need to teach the customers about how to drink rum that is different than the very sweet rum that unfortunately have been on the market very good rum, but they have probably accustomed the people to drink too sugary, when in fact real rum not that sugar.
Yeah, I understand.
You can have also. So it's a different rum.
I used to live now. So before I always liked rum, of course. I mean, like you, I would go for, rather than vodka, I would go for rum. Back then, I used to drink. I discovered rum thanks to Diplomatico. Which back then I was in love with, of course, because it's easy to drink, it's sweet, and it makes you, and it's rum, so you are happy. I mean, because of the alcohol, of course. So, but then after a while, you develop. I mean, you change your taste, and you realize that these products are really, really, really sweet. And so I used to live in Colombia, where I started to collect also mainly rums from the exterior. So when I used to travel, I would take them back.
Very good rum. Very good rum.
And what happened is that when I came back here to Switzerland, if I was thinking, okay, I come back to Europe, people are more into the dry zone of the dry side of rums. But no, I was astonished. I was like, even you go in a bar, in these places, you see always the standard rums like Diplomatico, Bacardi, of course, Zacapa, exactly, which are really sugar bombs to me. And so can you maybe just quickly tell me your perception, how you see the customer, the Spanish, French, maybe Italian customer compared to the Nordics? Are they different in terms of?
Listen, we were very. It's a good question, because during ProWein, we know that a lot of people that approached us, some of them German, and then customers from the northern countries, as I call them, were very interested in a rum that has less sugar content. And that gave me an idea that the mentality or the taste is slightly now changing to have products that are probably less sugary in content, and more genuinely, without a little bit drier. I would like to say that the rum that we make El Supremo is not we don't compete with other rums. We are on our own. We are a different category. We are a bottle of El Supremo should be next to the other bottles. We're not trying to, people are trying. I think people don't want to drink too much. It depends on the taste, but I've noticed that in general this is the trend now, which is good for us because we are a rum that has no sugar. It tastes a bit like whiskey with the rum flavors. I noticed that the northern countries are changing a little bit. That's good. It shows me that maybe there's a trend for this in the future. Rum with less sugar. Definitely less sugar, definitely.
Yeah, it's a trend generally when you talk. Also, I listened to a podcast in the United States, the Rumcast, and these two guys are really allergic to sugar. And I think it's, it's okay having a sweet rum. Why not? I mean, if you like
Why not?
Absolutely
no problem.
But it's,
I drink.
It's not my go-to, so I wouldn't spend $200 for a Zacapa, I don't know, XO for that much sugar. I mean, to me, I wouldn't spend it. I mean, I spent a lot of money in other bottles, but it's always something which I feel unique and not commercial. So I think it's nice that these products like yours are on the market. But again, it's difficult to bring people to let them understand, because a lot of people always say, rum is sweet because it's from sugarcane. You have always to explain them. No, it's not because sugarcane is sweet that the rum is sweet. I mean, it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey. And as I said, there are so many types of rums. Some are superbly good in the Caribbean. I've tasted rums that are amazing in Nicaragua. Even Zacapa. You remember Zacapa? I'm that old, but 25 years ago, Zacapa was different.
Then the Ageo took over.
If you have a chance to find a bottle of Zacapa that from 25 years ago, there are some people. There are some. It's about $500 to $1,000 a bottle now, but it's worth it because these genuinely the origin of rum in Nicaragua. So now, unfortunately, they've deviated a little bit because they adapt. These multinational wants to adapt to the taste, which is, sugar.
Yeah. It was, of course, they had to the big, broader audience, and you need to make it sweeter. That's a problem, I think.
I agree.
So let's maybe talk about the philosophy behind the bottle. So when someone drink your rum, what do you want the customer, the person who is drinking your rum, to understand about your product?
I think that what I would like to people to, when they drink the rum, is the history, the history of Paraguay, but also the legacy of Paraguay is 99.9% Guarani. It's the only country in South America that has mixed with the indigenous people, so much so that in Paraguay people speak Guarani. They speak Spanish, but the official or unofficial language is Guarani. Everybody speaks the Guarani. My father used to speak Guarani, learned the Guarani because that's the way you communicate. And I think that behind every bottle of El Supremo is the terroir, is the history of the country, is the way, the heritage of the distillery that we are using with Capasa Caña Paraguaya, which was founded in 1909. Imagine that. And they've been doing rum the same way before that for 100 years, but since 1909, the same way they're doing rum slowly. That's, I think, what's behind when we drink our rum. This is what I want to see: is the slow labor, it's the difficult labor, and the patience and the love that people put into making this product.
Yeah, it's very important when you talk about terroir, because normally in the rum, terroir is something that is more related to the French rum, the rum agricole, because it's made in a lot. And normally, also, for example, I went to visit Mount Gay distilleries. Yes, they produce they produce sugarcane, they crop it, but the problem is they don't have enough to cover the demand. So a lot of molasses is imported from other countries like Mexico, also Colombia. So you cannot really talk about terroir. In this case, you have a product which is made 100% in Paraguay.
It is 100%. It is the philosophy. It's a philosophy of patience, of doing rum slowly. Imagine we have rum that is 18 and 25-year-old statically aged, so we have barrels that have been there for 25 years, and authenticity. The authenticity is very important. It's unfortunate that in the spirit there's a lot of people that cut corners. They do this, they do that. It's the every bottle of rum from Paraguay has this long history, making patience, and the authenticity of the terroir of Paraguay, which is very important, and made from sugarcane honey, right, and not molasses. So it's authentic. Authentic. It's actually a natural rum. So everything is natural.
Maybe can you maybe just tell us a bit more about the terroir? So where is the sugarcane grown? Is there a particular climate there? How is the climate? It's high. I don't know. Paraguay is in the Andes.
Paraguay is
high.
No.
Okay.
Paraguay it's very flat.
Okay.
Actually, Paraguay is a strange country. It's turned like this, so it's not north-south like this. It's more like that.
Yeah.
So the region towards Argentina, that's where all the sugarcane fields are. The land in Paraguay is the most fertile. When you arrive in Paraguay, there is no industry, so the air is extremely pure. The land is extremely fertile.
Okay.
For those who are listening and love to eat beef, there's the best beef in the world. So I urge you if you go to Paraguay, go and eat beef because it's the best in the world. And it's extremely fertile, and they have winter season and a summer season. So it's spring, winter. The winter is usually in July and August. The coldest month is usually in August. They're a little bit humid but cold.
Okay.
You have a couple of weeks that's very cold. months that are very cold. And you have a summer that's very hot,
Okay.
scorching hot.
Mm-hmm.
So the climate of Paraguay is very extreme winter and summer. And as I said, the sugarcane fields are all in the south of the country or east of the country. East of the country, south is the country like that. And they grow.
What's the name of the place where you grow the sugarcane? Where the sugarcane is grown?
Near Encarnación, you are in the center of. If you look at the map of Paraguay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You're looking, okay. So if you look towards the river, you go to a region called Encarnación. You see the border with Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alto Paraná. There's all this region.
Okay,
Cazapá,
yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you see the south of Asunción there on the river,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have the head of Paraguay, that big thing towards the north. That's the desert. There's nothing there.
Okay,
It's El Chaco. It's called El Chaco. It's a deserted region. And then south of Asunción, that's where from Asunción to Ciudad Este, all the way down to Formosa, basically to the south. Then you have the sugarcane.
Okay. Uh-huh. And there is also a wine region there, because I talked to.
There is. I know. I was very surprised. I
was too, because I didn't know that in Brazil, in the south, they produce wine somewhere.
In Paraguay, the Mennonites. There's a couple of they accepted the Mennonites, so we have communities of Mennonites.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are planted grapes and doing wine. It's drinkable. I've had some.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not a Malbec. It's not a Malbec from Mendoza, but
yeah, of course. And also in Europe, we are kind of spoiled with wine, so sometimes. And
it's drinkable.
So they produce the sugarcane, and so this is a company who is producing everything for you. Did I get it correctly? So I mean, you don't own or are you just collaborating with them?
No, we are collaborating. We are partners with Capasa for the past 20 years. We work with them, and it took us a bit of a long time, but we are basically the export brand of Capasa. Mm-hmm. So Capasa has their own production. They have their own brand for the local market, and we have El Supremo is the export brand of Capasa. As a matter of fact, we always put Capasa everywhere in our label.
Okay, Capasa, it's the name of the...
Caña Paraguayas, okay. Cañas Paraguayas.
I got it.
It's the oldest distillery in Asunción.
Yeah, okay, interesting, yeah. Okay.
And we are the export brand, and, we bring it to France. And actually, we also try a little bit. So now we're going to come up with a new special. We have a 25-year-old coming up, which is quite amazing. It's absolutely spectacular. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a tequila and a whiskey because it's so. And what we have done, we've put 1,000 liters to age into Armagnac cask.
Okay.
So we are going to see how it comes out. I went to Bordeaux. We are south of Bordeaux in the Armagnac, and I went to taste. Let me see if I have. Here it is. Let me see if I can show you, because it's quite spectacular. For the first time in the world, you are going to see something. If I can show it, and it's quite unique. So, ¿dónde está? So here it is. So I don't know if you can see it. So here we are. We are tasting we are tasting this Armagnac. These are Armagnac. We are in Armagnac here, and we have about 1,000 liters. We are tasting a 12-year-old that has been aged into Armagnac. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So this is my crazy master distiller in France that we are working with, Florent Soulol, a little genius. And anyway, so we're going to come up with that. We'll see what comes. You always have to be innovative in the book. You cannot static. You need to find ways of course, the market. The young people, they like to put strawberries into rum. There's a lot of these rums now that are coming up. Some of them, like with bananas, you put cocoa.
Yeah.
But this is a sipping rum. These are rum. Our Supremo is for sipping and enjoying.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a rum? Do you have a battle rum? So for a bar, for doing cocktails, Do you have something?
We have a 5-year-old. Yeah, we have a 5-year-old, which
Okay.
is a Supremo 5, which has been used to make. We have a list of cocktails on our website. You can see the cocktails. One of the most famous cocktails that we make with the 5-year-old is the Negroni. It's a very popular cocktail these days. And instead of gin, we put rum, and it's a huge success. It's delicious.
Okay, yeah, I
with
like.
With the 5-year-old.
I think Negroni is one of my favorite cocktail, and I like to do it with
Love it.
gin, with prosecco, with rum, or
Yeah.
whatever. So
We can with the 5-year-old. You can do it with rum, and
okay, yeah,
plus
interesting.
we have, of course, our main cocktail is to put ginger inside the 5-year-old. So you have a lot of different flavors. There's some bars that do cocktails with our 5-year-old, because the rum being being dry and not sugary, they can add up a little bit of fruit and sugar inside, so that really brings back also the flavor. It's an interesting, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which is also the entry level for our rum, because the 5-year-old is very easy to drink.
Yeah. It's also sometimes where people start, maybe, or
correct,
depending.
and then you move on.
Exactly.
Yeah, you move on to what? Yeah.
Okay, so Filippo, I have one last question.
More question.
Which is about the future. So how do you see the brand in the next couple of years, 5 years, maybe 10 years? What is your project? Do you have maybe something? Yes, you told me about the 25 years old rum. Do you have something else which is, or I don't know, whatever project you have maybe in the next future?
Well,
the
future is, of course, to anticipate. Well, I think I answered a little bit earlier that we haven't anticipated that we have the 25-year-old coming into the market, which will be absolutely spectacular, plus a special edition of a 12-year-old rum that has been aged into Armagnac cask in France, and that is going to be like a 15-year-old. We're going to leave it for another 2 years, so it's going to be, at the end, it's going to be about a 15-year-old rum that has been left into Armagnac. But there's one thing. We are, of course, our brand is growing. We're having more and more distributors around Europe. We're opening new market every month because we have project and a plan. But one thing important I want to say is that it's always maintained. Do not lose your authenticity and artisanal quality. Don't give up this for that, right? So if you grow, then of course, more people want more rum, but we are going to keep our authenticity without giving up on that. And for the future, I think I want also to educate people about Paraguay. I want to educate people about rum. I was in London with Ian Burrow. As you know, he's a worldwide brand ambassador for the rum industry. And we were discussing all these things and how many rums there are. It's so beautiful to be able to bring people to the rum family, La Familia del Rum. We are a tight-knit community of people, but it's growing. More and more people are switching to rum now, which is great. It's a category that is growing very fast. UP, to all of you that have a brand out there, just stay there because it's growing. It's growing. It's something that will grow. I would like to say that more and more people are looking for rum of origin, of quality. And that's where we are going to focus to remain into that premium and super premium area of the rum. We are not going to give up and enter the competition for the cheap rum, that to compete for other things. We are going to stay into that. So that's where we are going to be. And also educate people because we want to show.
Go ahead.
I want to educate people and to show them that Paraguay. I want to make sure that people know about Paraguay.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful country. There's a lot of things on them. So that's the future, of course.
It's so interesting. I'm trying to do the same here. I mean, with Colombia, I told you I used to live in Colombia. I married with a Colombian lady, so Maria. And I mean, Colombia also has to offer a lot, even though it's complicated, the market. But there are some products which are really interesting and unique in the world. And also, getting people to know Colombia, which has a bad reputation, unfortunately, still, but it's such an amazing country, and
I love it.
I always say you know also better the country through the food, but also the drinks, not just the food, but also for me, making a distillate, it's an art. It's passion, it's dedication, it's knowing the product, it's knowing the terroir, it's knowing the what surrounds you. So I think you know also better a country thanks to drinks, to rum, whatever, or food, whatever it is. And that is maybe a gateway to take people also to know your country.
Yeah, absolutely. Know the country. Don't be afraid to speak up for small terroir rums that come from, we need to, the Caribbean, I'll say it with much love for the Caribbean, my Caribbean family. They're trying to monopolize, it's always about Jamaica, bad, but we are also different, and we are not competing. We are not here to just say, "Oh, your rum is bad, mine is better." No. My rum is just an addition to your rum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You have your rum. I will never compete. Molasses is molasses, but mine is Miel de Caña. It's done like this. This is the story. Try it. If you like it, you can buy a bottle and enjoy yourself. Yeah. Of course, you can also have another rum sometimes, but that's what I want to say.
Yeah. Now you can really achieve a lot of results if you get finally people, you get them educated about rum, but it's a long journey, it's difficult. So also the idea of this podcast to talk about it, to talk with producers
it's
like
great.
you. And
it's
great. So Filippo Maria, I'm through. I don't know if you want to add last thing before I let you go.
Listen, I'm very, very happy to be to see that there are some podcasts that talk about the rum, and to be on this one because it's very important to let people know. Okay, the more they know, the better we can we can grow our family. And so, thank you very much for having me tonight.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you very much. So I hope to meet you soon in person.
Renato, I'll be more than happy to bring you a bottle when I am in Switzerland. I'm in Rome. I don't know when I have to go to Lausanne, but I can come up to Lucerne. We can have a
I can come to Lausanne. I mean, I could do no worries. So I used to live in Lausanne, so for more than 15 years. So I have also a lot of friends.
Fun city.
So I'm kind of great. I'm at home. I'm always happy to go back to Lausanne because again I like the city. It's a nice vibe. Okay, Filippo Maria, thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you. Okay, I'll stay online. Is it? Tell me when it's.
Just
when it's done.
I stop it now.